Welcome back to Pillow Talk. I am Christian.
And I'm Libby.
Today we're going to talk about our favorite thing, probably TV shows. We watch a lot of TV shows. We watch a lot of movies.
I would say more so TV shows than movies.
I was going to say more movies, probably. Not lately. COVID kind of ruined that because studios shut down.
Yeah.
It was unsafe for them to do a lot of that.
We used to like to go to a lot of movies.
I don't really like to go to movies. I like to rent movies and sit at home and watch them.
Okay. We used to rent a lot of Redbox, and I would say at least once a month or twice a month we would go to $5 Tuesday movies.
Yeah, pretty faithfully on Tuesdays I would at least look at the Redbox app and see what came out that week, and then we would go rent a couple. And now,
because Tuesdays are his day off, so that's what we like to do.
It's also the day new movies comes out, if you don't know that.
Yeah, whenever we have free time, whether it's a day off for both of us or just some downtime at night where I'm not tired, we binge watch.
We watch a lot of TV, and actually I really want to do a second podcast without Libby where I just talk about TVs and movies and like that type of current stuff. Because
why without me?
Because I think it'd be a fun way for me to bring in some of my friends and stuff to talk about the nerdy parts of Marvel and all that. But,
I love Marvel.
Okay, but if I quizzed you, you would probably fail.
Depends.
Okay. Anyway, today's episode is about TV shows. If you follow Libby on social media, she quite often asks for recommendations. This will kind of be our list of recommendations to you. And
not quite often, just whenever we run out of something.
Which is pretty often. Especially since the pandemic and having a child when you've had more downtime.
Wouldn't necessarily call it downtime, but
when you've had more time to have something on screen while you are doing other things.
Sure.
Fair. If you have shows that you would like to recommend to us, comment down below if you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, comment on the Instagram post, send us a message, something. I mean, we're always looking for something else to watch.
And the thing about us, the thing about me is I don't really like silence at all. So I need to have something on, whether it's music, podcast, TV, you name it, at all times.
There are a couple main categories for stuff we watch. We watch some businessy stuff like The Profit and Shark Tank, which are two of my all-time favorite shows. If you don't watch either of them, watch them both. There are a couple other shows similar to that are either currently not on or hopefully come back soon. There are also talent shows. America's Got Talent, American Idol.
He is more so like really into those. I enjoy American Idol. I enjoy the audition part.
Yeah, American Idol now.
But like everything else, I just get bored of and sick of. I feel like
American Idol now is better than it ever was, in my opinion. When it first came out, it was the big water cooler conversation every week where it seemed like everyone was watching it, kind of like Game of Thrones or something later on. But now it feels fresh again. They don't make fun of the contestants. They don't have bad people on there just to make fun of them.
Well, they kind of do.
No, most of them are people who are like at least on the border of being good, and they have some interesting characters, but they can sing usually.
But I would say the judges make the entire show this time.
Absolutely, and they are way more. They feel like they're actually coaching and giving constructive feedback. They do get annoying sometimes. Libby hates Lionel Richie.
I don't hate Lionel. I get annoyed with Lionel because he's so philosophical, even when it's unnecessary.
He tries to be really deep about everything, and it just comes off as
cheesy
excessive.
And just too much.
Another category is our trash and reality TV.
There's a lot of that.
I love Big Brother is my favorite reality show, but you've watched the Kardashians and
Bachelor, Bachelorette,
Love Island,
Too Hot to Handle, all of that stuff. Right now I'm watching Are You the One? Yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
A bunch of the TLC shows. I love A Mama's Boy, Smothered, and Extreme Sisters. We binge watched and really liked. Any of that stuff that's just kind of weird, but not too weird.
And it doesn't take a lot of thought. Like, it's just
mindless trash.
Yeah, just literal trash to just have on. Makes you feel better about yourself and your life. So, I don't know. I love that.
Some of the bigger shows that we watch, I mean, we'll pretty much watch anything that's making headlines. White Lotus was one that was recent that everyone seemed to be talking about. I actually was really disappointed in that show. I know you liked it, but I didn't love it.
We've talked about this on an episode before.
Yeah, maybe one of our very first ones. We watched Game of Thrones pretty religiously.
Absolutely loved it. Yeah, we want to rewatch it all.
I've seen it all a couple times. I don't like to rewatch stuff too often just because I would rather get more new things.
I know, but I feel like that's one that we could, just because there's so much story to it.
Yeah.
And so many characters and so many worlds, not worlds, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yellowstone is another recent obsession that I think we got done before season 3 started. So we've watched the last 2 seasons live the last 2 years. And I know a lot of friends of mine who've gotten into it recently.
We're currently watching The Marvelous Miss Maisel,
which the new season just came out. This Is Us. I know This Is Us was massive when it first came out. I think this is season 6. It is the final season. That show was really good for the first season or 2. It got really rocky and kind of crappy in the middle. And honestly,
I wouldn't necessarily call it that. I just think it got boring and slow.
And now it feels fresh again. And I actually really look forward to watching it. I think there's only like 6 episodes left or something.
I don't know. Back to reality and trash. We forgot to talk about Catfish. That is one of my favorite shows.
I watched the original Catfish documentary that he made. I think I watched it before it was a show. And I watched it at the recommendation of one of my brothers. And the concept is good. And especially in the digital world.
It's insane.
But it's not unheard of. And how many friends or even family members do we know that have probably been catfished to some point?
Not even like romantically, necessarily, even though that's what the show is about. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think it's just a great concept. And it's just it's Jerry Springer for the modern world. I mean, they just go find the people instead.
And I just love Neve and Cammie together.
We watched a lot of the stuff that was big time.
The Netflix series.
In the last 5 or 10 years, your Breaking Bad, Orange is the New Black, Dexter, Weeds, Shameless.
Sometimes, like, there's just so many, and, like, my family will be, especially, like, my mom or my grandma will be like, what should we watch? Because they aren't super TV-ish binge watch people, so they always ask us for recommendations, and I always draw a blank every single time. But today we sat down and went through everything, and it's a very long list. So
there's a bunch of shows that I won't watch, or I've decided, okay, you can watch this without me. So she watches The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise.
You watch like one season with me, and then you're like, nope,
I picked the person he was gonna end up with in the first 10 minutes, and I was done with it. I'm like, I'll go play video games or something else. You watch Grey's Anatomy, Kardashians, all that type of stuff.
But I did not. So everybody loves Grey's. Everybody. And everybody always talks about it and recommends that. And I absolutely refused. We hadn't had Elliot yet, but the world had shut down. So it was like an extended maternity leave for me. I had basically 2 months to sit at home and wait for Elliot to arrive. And I finally caved and started Grey's. I'm pretty sure I watched the entire series before we had Elliot. Yeah. And now I'm obsessed with it.
Which is disgusting because there's a lot of seasons.
Yeah, and I understand the hype. It's so good. Every episode draws you in and hooks you. Yeah.
I would say a lot of the shows we watch are pretty mainstream. Whether it's things that are cable TV like Riverdale, which is just the ultimate level of cheese, but
I got so turned off by that.
But it's trash. It's a comic.
They should have just stopped it after the, second season.
Yeah, no. Anyway, I watch Letterkenny. I love Letterkenny. Libby hates it. If you've never seen Letterkenny, it's a Canadian TV show. It's on Hulu. This is my recommendation for the day. I have the whole set of Funko Pops behind me. There's only 2 here. There's 4 more below it. Imagine Napoleon Dynamite as a TV show, but it's actually funny. And
no, it's horrible.
No. You don't get a poop on my recommendation.
You can say shit. It's fine.
I'm going to say poop because it sounds better. It is so funny and so well written.
No, you can't understand anything they're saying.
Watch with subtitles. It's still in English.
Well, I know, but 1, they mumble, and 2, they make up these words.
For the record, Libby has watched maybe 2 episodes of this show.
That was enough. That was too much.
That is the first 2 episodes. They just had their 10th season. I believe Hulu, I don't know if they bought them. It's on a TV network called Crave in Canada. Watch Letterkenny. Even if you watch a couple episodes, it is so funny. I also watched Ted Lasso without her.
I watched 1 episode, but then I don't know if I had to leave for something. I was like, just go ahead and keep watching.
It's one that you need to go back.
It was
and
kind
watch.
of boring at first, so I was like, just keep watching. And now he's like, you need to watch it, but I haven't yet. We kind of touched on this when we had Steve and Tyler on, but literally anything on Food Network that is a competition show, Chopped, Hell's Kitchen, any baking ones, I love those, and they make me want to be a foodie, make me want to get in the kitchen and bake and cook. And I feel so inspired, and so I spend all this money on stuff to try, and then it never happens.
I would say within the last 10 years, we have watched The Office, Parks and Rec, New Girl, Community,
30 Rock,
Scandal. We watched a lot of those big shows that were winning awards. We should have done this by streaming service. That would have been the easier way to do it now that I think about it. But we decided to just sit down and wing it. A couple of our favorite shows in the last couple months. We already mentioned Yellowstone. Yellowstone has a spinoff called 1883. That's kind of the origin story to some of that I really like. We've only watched the first couple episodes of it, though. The Sex Lives of College Girls we watched. It's on HBO Max. Mindy Kaling, Kelly from The Office, and also The Mindy Project. I don't know if she wrote it, but I think she directs it. It is hilarious.
It was really good. It's kind of like in the Broad City vibe, which I absolutely love, and Christian got really annoyed with.
It's not that cringy.
I just love that type of shit.
Yeah, and we watched that. I think it's only 10 episodes. It was a really, really fast watch that we wish there was a lot more of. It did get picked up for another couple seasons. We just finally got caught up on Ozark, which is about to get the last half of its final season.
Yeah.
Stranger Things is about to come back out, finally, after what seems like forever.
I don't know where they're going to take this season.
It's been announced that there's one more season after this, and then it's done.
Well, especially because the kids are so much older now.
Yeah, they're going to be like 25 by the time this is over, it seems.
Yeah, I have a hard time seeing where it's going to go. I guess I had a hard time with it with the last season, too, but they somehow managed to suck us all in. Another Master of None we really enjoyed.
Yeah, Master of None is really good. We never did watch the second season. The third season.
Guess we didn't enjoy it that much.
It's different, and I know the way that they did a lot of it during COVID is different as well. So again, huge factor with TV and movies was the way that production companies had to change things and how many people could be on set at a time, and just protocols depending on where they are. A lot of shows shoot in Canada. And that's
like SNL,
shutdown.
when it all went virtually, we watch SNL every week too. When that was virtual, I mean, what round of applause for them, because the way they pulled it off was super cool, I thought.
My favorite show that currently is not on, that breaks my heart, is Songland. If you don't know what Songland is, there's 3 main writers. You have Ryan Tedder from One Republic. He has written most of the songs you've heard on the radio. There's Esther Dean, who was actually in Pitch Perfect movies, but she is a crazy songwriter as well. And I don't remember the other guy's name. He's country.
I don't know. I don't do country.
He's a big time country, like pop country writer. The premise of this show is the 3 of them are the judges. There's 5 people who pitch a song. 3 people get picked. Each of the 3 judges goes with these writers, and they try to make their song even better. Most of the time, there's also a guest that is there who is going to get the song for their album. So they did the Jonas Brothers. They did Black Eyed Peas. They did
Maren Morris, maybe?
Maren Morris. They did Usher. So these people come there. They get to give their feedback too. And then they pretty much end up picking one of these songs to put on their album. A couple big hits have actually come out of it too. And it's just really cool to see the variety of stuff. A lot of the writers, I think, are kind of up-and-coming people or people who haven't had their big break yet. So it's a weird concept because it's about songwriting, but it's a cool way to see different forms of talent out there, and then to see maybe the process with some of the producers, and then to see it in its final form with the artists themselves. What's your favorite show right now that you want to either give a recommendation to, or I said Letterkenny, but I'll give another recommendation since you pooped on it.
Like that we're currently watching, or just my favorite show that everybody needs to watch?
What is the show that you would tell everyone to watch?
Oh my God.
One of them.
If you have not seen Shameless, and I know it is not for everyone, but if you are into that type of thing, it is a 10 out of 10. The humor, the raw realness,
It's
just
trash.
the story.
It's trash, but it's fun trash.
It's not even trash. Like, it's not reality TV trash. It's a real show.
It's mindless is what I mean.
But it's so good, and every season connects, and the characters just continue to grow and develop and get better and better every season.
I watched the British version of Shameless before Showtime picked it up and made an American version, so you're welcome for that.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of drugs and alcohol and sex and profanity, so if you're not into that, don't listen to me. But
that's the type of stuff Libby likes to watch in TV shows.
yeah, if you don't mind it, then highly recommend. And I think it's all on Netflix now, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's completely over now.
Yeah.
My recommendation, since I got pooped on, is going to be...
I also like shows, though, like Reacher and like Quantico and...
White Collar.
Yeah, what's the other one your dad watched that then I got
Blacklist.
into? Blacklist. Like, I like that.
Oh, Royal Pains.
Criminal Minds. Oh, my gosh. Law and Order. SUV?
SVU.
SVU.
It's not a
Good
car.
Lord. Like anything like that. That's like criminal, suspense, fighting. I like that as well. I'm just kind of all over the board.
My recommendation is 2 parts. If you haven't seen Black Mirror, watch Black Mirror. It's crazy. Libby hated it at first, and it'll mess with
it's
your...
way too freaky and like out of this world, literally.
Yeah, it messes with your head, and it's definitely a good twist on a lot of concepts. But its main premise is, when does technology go too far? So some of it is, it's not horror or anything, but some of it is just creepy.
Some of the episodes kind of feel that way, though.
Some of it's creepy because it makes you wonder how close to that reality are we with technology. And some of it's robots. Some of it is kind of game show concepts and just kind of what happens with social media and
it's just
technology.
hard to explain.
My second recommendation is a show that just came back for its 2nd season called Upload. It's a weird show, and the whole premise is, in the first 5 minutes, the guy gets into a car accident, and instead of just dying, his family pretty much pays to upload his mind.
It's him.
Think of a virtual retirement home, but anyone who dies can go there.
But you get to like pick your level. So obviously, if you have a lot of money, you go to a fancy
place. So he goes to this fancy schmancy one, and it kind of shows the wealth inequality still, but there's a lot of humor. It's really funny. It's by the same creator of, I think, The Office or Parks and Rec, which is
Parks and Rec, I think.
Same person.
Oh, I don't know.
If you haven't seen Upload, it's on Amazon Prime. We are in second.
Amazon Prime. I forgot about shows on there. Mozart in the Jungle.
Yeah.
We really loved that.
We talked about Miss Maisel.
Okay, that's
Reacher,
all.
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan. That fits in like the suspense action category that I enjoy. Man, obviously we could talk about TV shows all damn day. So this pretty much just sums it up. Right?
Leave us some feedback below or recommendations. I think...
if we haven't already talked about it.
Or tell us what you liked.
Yeah.
I would love to talk more about movies and TV shows. I'm really trying to figure out how to make that work in maybe a more specific format.
Well, we are going to put a little poll on our story on our Instagram story when this episode goes live. We want to know what all of your favorite TV shows are to see if we relate, if there's anything new out there that we should be checking out, and we'll kind of share the results with everybody. That way everybody can get a good feel for things to check out. Busy season is quickly approaching for me, so that means less TV time. But a couple of them that we'll really stick with is American Idol for sure.
If you're watching on YouTube, comment below. You don't have to go to Instagram. But otherwise...
Yeah, that too. Next week, we will have a guest on Too Tired. And then I'm hopefully going to convince Christian to either do a baby haul or a Target challenge date night thingamajig that you see all over TikTok for the next Pillow Talk episode.
I'm not opposed to that, so we'll see. The problem is the camera that we're using is just a webcam, and it just doesn't meet my standards for the video quality yet. So trying to come up with an alternate. We'll probably just use our phone. It's probably plenty sufficient. So thanks for listening.
Yep.
Make sure you are subscribed and or following depending on the platform. Leave us feedback, leave us comments, let us know what you're watching.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.